Alright, here we have a 2020 little guy Mini Max. It's a video walkthrough for it. Up front you got your tongue jack, hand crank to raise and lower the trailer. You got your coupler. This just slides forward once the ball's on, and then it locks in, and then put a pin or a bolt through that hole to lock it on, and then lift up, and that's how you unhook it. You got your safety chains. Then you have your breakaway cable. That's like an emergency brake. For whatever reason, if this came unhooked and your chains failed, there's a little pin in this box that's connected to this that will pull out, and it will lock up your brake so it's not going way behind you. Then you have your 7-way, which runs your lights and brakes. Then you have your propane tanks up here. And there's just these latches, and then this flips forward. You got your propane tank up here, 20-pound tank, and then you got the valve. Just open and close it. Open that, and then you have your battery right here. And then there is a battery disconnect on this side, right here. Let's see. And so this little window right here, it's green. That means there's power going through. And then if you turn it, it's red. That means the battery is off. So it'll shut off the battery. That way, if you're parked for a while, it won't draw your battery down. Then this tube right here, which is where your sewer hose storage will be. You just have this latch that opens it, and then you put your hose in there, and then you can lock it. And that's everything up here. That's your regulator for the propane tank. You don't have to do anything with that. Latch that back. And then there is a key lock here, so you can lock it closed. You have stabilizer jacks. There's 4 of them, 1 on each corner. You'll get the trailer leveled first. For side-to-side leveling, put blocks under the tires. And then once that's leveled, unhook from the vehicle, and then use the front tongue jack for front-to-back leveling. Once it's leveled and you're all unhooked, crank those down until they hit the ground, or if you have blocks underneath them. Once they're touching, give it 1/2 to 3/4 of a crank just to put a little pressure on it. You don't want to try and pick this up with those jacks. It will bend them. Alright, then you have your sewer outlet right here. So this handle, and their handles are color coded, so that's nice. This is your black tank, which will be your toilet water. And then that's your gray tank with the gray handle, and that's your sink and shower water. You'll leave these closed while camping or using it. Once they read about 2/3 all the way full, that's when you come out and dump them. You just grab the handle and pull it open, and that one you'll pull that way. Pull the black tank first. Once that's emptied, then you can close it, and then open the gray tank, and that you can use the gray water to flush out your sewer hose. That way it's not leaving a mess in it. Right, you have the back of the fridge right here. Right here, there's little sliders. I can do it. Push them in, and it unlocks it, and then you have access to the back of the fridge. You'll never have to go back here. It's just where we service it, but that's where the pilot is for the LP, and then the outlet's back here, and then there is a fuse. All right. And lock it. All right, that's back in. You have your power cord hookup. Just goes on there. There's an L-shaped prong, so there's only one way for the plug to go in, or the cord to go on. So you line it up, and then you give it 1/4 of a turn, and that locks it on. And then there's a little coupler that screws on here to hold it on. This is a 30 amp unit. So when you go to campgrounds, make sure you ask for the 30 amp hookups. If you're at home, you can plug into a household outlet with an adapter, and that'll keep your battery charged, and you can run your lights and cool your fridge before you're going on a trip. The only thing you can't run is an air conditioner because that requires the full 30 amps. All right, then you have TV hookups here. If you grab this cover right here and squeeze it, and then you can open it. If you just try and pull on it, it's kind of like a safety lock, but there's nothing there. You're just kind of squeezing it together. It's a lot easier to open. So cable hookups if you're at a campground. And then right here, above it, you have your water connections, and they're labeled right here. So this one will be your freshwater tank. So you have portable water. This cap just unscrews, put the hose in there, and then it's gravity fed, so it just fills up. And the drain for that is right down here, right here. Right now it's open, so it's drained and there's no water in it. Before you fill it, just right here, just turn it like that, and that'll close it off, and then you'll be able to fill it. Right, the other water connection is this, and that's your city water. That cap just comes off, then you screw on your hose. And that is when you go to a campground or a place that has water hookups, you'll hook the water there with a pressure regulator, and that'll just put water directly to all your faucets without having to use the water pump for the freshwater tank. Next to that is your water heater. There's nothing back here really. It's gas and electric. For the gas, it lights on its own. It has an electric ignition. The switches are inside for that, so you don't have to come out here and switch anything. Right here, this is your pressure release valve. So when you're winterizing it, you'll have to pull the plug. But before you pull the plug, you'll want to open this up. That way it'll release the pressure, and then you'll be able to undo the plug without it shooting out at you. You have an outside shower here. You just pull down on this, and then your hose comes out, and then you got hot and cold water. All right. In the back, there is a receiver right here, so if you had a bike rack, you can hook it up there, and then you'll have your bikes with you. You got storage back here, and there is magnets on the door to hold it open. This is your power cord, and then you have a wheel that can go on the tongue, or the jack, the tongue jack. And then you have the crank right here for the stabilizer jacks. And this is a slotted one. So you'll just come, kind of hard to see, but right here, it's got two little dimples on it. You'll just line it up with the slots, and then it slides in, and then you can crank them up and down. Then there is a light in here, right up there, so you can kind of see what you're doing. Right, this is the exhaust for your furnace. When you're using it, just make sure nothing's in the way of that, and definitely don't touch it. It does get pretty hot, so you just want to be careful of that. Then you have a propane quick connect, so if you have a grill, you can hook a hose up to here and then hook it to your grill. Outside speakers, right here, outside outlet, and it does have USB ports on it. And this is cable hookup and an HDMI hookup, so you can have a TV out here. That's everything out here. Your steps, if you grab the front of it and lift up, and then you'll be able to pull it out. Now we'll go inside. Okay, so you have your door. There is a window on this door. And all your windows open up like this, so you have latches on each side. You just twist. There's one down here, and then you can push it out. And then you got this little lock right here. You'll tighten, and then it'll stay open. And then loosen that, and then put the latches back. And then you have shades, day-night shades. So this will be the night shade. It's dark. You can't have light through it. Lift it all the way up. It'll latch to this top shade, and then you can pull it down, or you could pull that shade down. It's kind of like a day shade, so it'll block the sunlight, but you'll still be able to see outside. And then to release it, you just pull that and then lift up, and it goes back up. And then this does have a screen door. So right here, pull this open, and then this screen will open. So that's kind of the same material as that. So if you have that window open, it's kind of like a screen, so no bugs will get in. And then you just, it's kind of hard to open it on the outside because of the door seal right here. But if you get your fingers in there, you just pull it back. All right, to the left, you have your control center. So these two switches are for your water heater, and it's labeled right here. And on the bottom, it tells you gas or electric. So if you are camping without power hookups, you can use the gas. Just turn on your propane tanks, flip the switch, and it'll light. It'll try 3 times to light. If it doesn't try after the 3rd time, this light in the center will come on. That just tells you that it didn't light. Sometimes air is in the line, so it takes a while to light. But if it's just not lighting, then something else is wrong, and you just give us a call. All right, and then the electric, so when you're plugged in, you can just flip that switch on. It'll take about 30 to 40 minutes to fully heat up. Water pump switch, so if you're using a freshwater tank, you'll flip that on, and then you'll have water. Interior light switch, porch light, which is this LED bar right here, and then a handle and step light. So the handle does illuminate, but it's kind of bright out, so you can't really see it, but it is light. When it's dark, this whole thing lights up. And then there's a step light right there. All right, you got storage right here. And then you have, shoot, I dropped you. You got storage to the right. And then you have a drawer, which has all the silverware organizer, which is pretty nice. Your cooktop, this does have an electric sparker on it. To light it, you have this switch. You'll just press and it'll spark. To do it, you'll turn it to that little spark right there. You press and hold it, hit the sparker, and then you'll hold the knob in for a couple seconds to let it warm up, and then let off and it stays lit. If you try and light it and then immediately let go, well, I guess it was already warm, but it won't stay lit, so you have to hold it just for a couple seconds. And you want to make sure that's cooled down before folding the cover back down, or else there's a chance this glass will shatter. So I'm going to leave that up because I just had that on. You have this little cabinet drawer thing right here. Household microwave. And another little drawer under it. Then you have your sink, and this is like a little cutting board, and it's also extra, gives you extra counter space. So you have a nice, deep little sink right here. Hot and cold water, and then this does pull out, and you can change the flow of it. Previous owner put a little towel rack here, and then you got storage up here. And then this little light, you just flip that switch, and it turns on. Then your window, same as the door, you got the latches. Once those are open, push that, and then you have a lock right here, and this one actually has 2 locks. Then your shade, and then the little screen right here. Right, we'll go towards the back first. You got your radio. I believe it's also a DVD player, and it's Bluetooth. Little storage here. And this has all the books and manuals for the appliances. Then you got the dinette bed area. So that table, there's legs there. That'll just flip up, or you'll pull it up, and then you'll have your table. And then you put it down like that, and then you can put the cushions over it for a bed. Yeah. So there's storage under. Oh, actually, that one's screwed down. That one's screwed down. So you can actually access storage under here. There's storage on each side. Oh, that's. So the table, you actually slide it all the way forward. I didn't work on this one, so. But the table slides all the way forward. Then you grab this handle, and then that'll give you a bigger bed. So that's pretty cool. And also, I believe it'll give you more access to the storage. And there's actually storage behind that. That's pretty neat. Alright, you got outlets. That's your propane and carbon monoxide alarm. This right here is your converter. You just push the top and it'll click, and then you can open it. Has all your fuses and your breakers. And then you got storage right here. You got some little shelf storage up above. You have your thermostat right here. So you got your mode button. So that's the first one is for the fan. You want to keep that in auto unless you just want to circulate some air, and then you'll put it on low or high, and that'll turn on the fan and the air conditioner. And then you got cool, and then you have your temperature controls, and then you have your furnace, and then you have off, and then the light will go away after a few seconds. You got your TV right here, and then this right here, there is actually a little solar panel on the top of this, or on the back. And this is just a solar charger for you, and it'll tell you what the battery voltage is, how it's charging, tell you the condition of the battery, so it's pretty good, and it's telling you it's charging. Then you have your smoke alarm, speakers on each side. These lights right here, if you actually push the lens in, it'll turn on and turn it off. And there is one over there as well. Outlets right here. Then you have your fridge. So this one's pretty neat. It's pretty tall, but it's pretty skinny. But your handles, you just push it and then you can open it. So like I said, it's pretty tall, but it's also skinny. Then you have like a small little freezer up here. And then down here, you got like another freezer section, which that's actually more a fridge because it's connected to the fridge. But that's where you could keep bigger items. Right, to turn the fridge on, you got your power button right here. I actually just press and hold it until it comes on. And then it's a touch screen, so you go by these little squares, press it with that cord, that's electric, and then you have battery. You'll use that when traveling, or you have gas, and then you have the A, which is auto. So we're not plugged in right now, so it's trying to light on gas. And then over here you have the temperature control, so you have cold, not so cold. Oh, this is the temperature control, so you just press that, and then you have, not quite sure what that means. And then if it's a hot day, there's a switch right here, and there's a fan in the back of the fridge. Yeah. All right. Turn it off, and then you have your shower. There's a little lock right here for travel. You got your shower, pretty basic, and then your toilet. There is a light right here with that switch. You have a foot flush right here to flush it, and then you got storage for toilet paper. And then back here, this is how you read the tank for the toilet. So you just twist that off, and there's a little switch right here. If you flip it to the middle, that'll test it. So right now everything's good, the batteries are good. Then flip it all the way up, and then that is on. So right now the tank's empty, so it's not reading anything. But once it gets 2/3 full, this light will come on, and then once it's full, this light will come on. And if the batteries start dying, this light will come on. That's a little battery right there. And then just turn it off when you're done camping. And also on the control center, you have a system monitor right here, and it's touchscreen, so you just touch it, it'll come on. Touch it again, so it'll tell you that the propane tank is full, freshwater tank's empty, black is empty, and the gray is empty. Then press it again, it'll tell you the voltage of your battery, and then touch it again, and then after a few seconds it will go off. So that is everything to do with the 2020 Little Guy Mini Max.